What am I looking at? Am I looking at a future competent software developer? Of course I am. Hello everyone, in this video we are going to talk about the checklist you have to tick before getting started with professional software development. So let's get to it. All the operating systems don't play so much of a vital role as far as programming softwares are concerned, but you need to be aware that there are some programming environments which are heavily dependent on operating system. For example, if you want to develop application for iOS or Mac operating systems, you need to be aware of Mac operating systems because that's what you will be dealing with, because iOS and Mac OS application can only be developed on Mac operating system using Apple laptops like MacBooks and iMacs. Apart from that, you don't have to worry about operating systems because all programming languages are easily supported on all three major operating systems: Windows, Linux and Mac OS. As far as picking up programming languages are concerned, you should really think through the situation. Like, what kind of applications do you want to build? What kind of systems do you want your applications to run on? Like, these are two of the major concerns which you should really think through before picking up any particular language. Like, if you want to program for embedded devices or IoTs, you would be in much better place if you pick up C or C++ as compared to Java or JavaScript. On the other hand, if you are concentrating on web, then you would be in much better place if you target JavaScript and really take your time to learn JavaScript related technologies. If you are targeting fields like analytical studies, data mining and something like that, then you should really think about picking up Python or R language, because those languages easily enable you to do heavily mathematical calculations and all. And as we have talked before, if you need to program for iOS devices, you need to be aware of Swift language, because Swift language is the officially supported language for developing iOS applications. Now, this is an important topic I really want to talk about. Most of the colleges don't really put so much of an interest or emphasis on learning data structures and algorithms, because it's just a course for people to complete, right? Especially in Indian colleges, it is just another subject we have to pass, and it is not really the case as far as you are graduating from CS or IT departments. If you want to be a competent software developer, you need to understand basic algorithms and data structures. You just don't have to know what these data structures and algorithms are. You need to be competent enough so that you can implement these basic data structures and algorithms on the fly, because there are so many cases and situations where you can easily use these situations to improve the performance of your software. Let me tell you a basic examples of how important these algorithms are. Like, I give you one sorted array containing numbers, and I ask you to find whether a particular element is present in that array or not. Now, if you are not aware of binary search, your natural response would be to brute force the solution. Now, I will be talking more about these brute force solutions in my later videos. So please subscribe to my channel so that you can better understand what brute force is all about. Now, coming back to the solution. So you will pick up item at 0th index and scan whether this item is equal to the item I gave you or not. If it is not, you will progress on to the second item, and so on until you find the element or you hit the end item or the nth item of that array, and you finally declare that that item is not present in that array. So that's a brute force solution, and it is not as performant as compared to binary search. That is why you really need to understand the complexities of the solutions you are designing. See, if you are using too much RAM for just doing trivial things, your software is not as performant and it should be optimized, right? You design a software so that it can use the resources optimally and does not crash all of the system, right? And you don't want your users to uninstall your applications just because it is crashing their system and it is not performant, right? That is why you need to learn these basic algorithms and data structures so that your applications are as performant as they should be. Writing actual programs would be the best way to become a competent software developer, right? So you really need to design some practical softwares which solve some kind of problems and enable your users to do some XYZ task easily. Would be a best way to learn new technologies and put those new technologies to a good use. Make sure the programs you are writing are production ready. See, when you are designing systems to be production ready, you would venture into many areas which you otherwise would not venture into. Like, there are too many bits and pieces which you need to put together to make your software presentable and optimal, and your software should be running on end users devices, right? So there is too much of a plumbing required to make that software from just a piece of some ifs and whiles and etc thrown into a file to a fully competent production ready software, right? So when you really take your time to develop some production ready software, you will learn too many things which is really necessary for you to be a competent software developer and which you otherwise would not learn if you are just designing some trivial programs and doing some number crunching and all, and things like taking input and producing output on a console, right? So you should really take your time and build some real world applications. When you invest some time to develop a software, you really want someone to try your software and use it, and you really want to see the delightment on end user's face, right? So that's the whole point of being a software developer. And what good can you do when your software is not production ready and you are unable to ship it? So the software which you have designed is running on your system and you are unable to make that software work on end user system, right? You have developed some application but you cannot distribute that application and you cannot make it run on your mother's laptop and it's of no use, right? So you need to learn how you can package your software into a production ready app and how you can ship it through the internet or using storage medias like USB drives and hard disks, so that this software which you have created can be easily installed on end user's device and they can actually try your application and provide you with the real feedback. Feedback is as much necessary as the features because you are putting in some time and to really develop that application, and if nobody is going to use that application, it's of no use, right? So you really need feedback, and to get that feedback you really require your software to run on end user's device, right? You cannot just go to each and every user and ask them to try that software in real time in front of you, right? So if you are designing a website, you need to learn how to host your website using shared hosting or cloud hosting. If you are designing a window-based application, you need to learn how you can create a .exe executable file so that you can distribute your software or application binary to the end user and he or she can easily install it by double clicking it on the file, right? And if you are designing some kind of Android based application, you need to be aware of how you can put that application on Google Play, or if you have designed application for iOS, you need to be aware of how you can put that application on Apple Store so that end users can try it, right? and that is very much necessary to put your software into the hands of end users. So those are my 5 basic points which you need to take care of before even starting your software development journey, right? When you are aware of what you need to do, it is, it is a journey half traveled, right? I never had such kind of a mentor, which guided me that these are the things which are necessary, and I eventually discovered it later in my journey. But I am here to tell you guys that all of these things are very much necessary to be a competent software engineer, right? And if you have some other kind of queries, you can really forward it to me, and if I think that I am competent enough to answer them, I will really answer them using your provided email address, or maybe I can create a video and provide the solution in my video. So, and also if you need any kind of other advice, you can also email me on the email I have provided in the description box. Thank you. Hey, if you really like what I do here, please do subscribe to my channel. It will really boost my enthusiasm and will keep me motivated to produce more of such stuff. And if you really like this video, please do share this video, like this video, and comment on this video, right? Bye.